I will admit, this is arguably one of the most controversial takes I'm going to ever make. Guys, women cannot love you. Women do not love you, especially not in the way that you think or that you would expect, not in the way that you love them. She will never love you. Women are incapable of loving a man, especially in the way that a man loves her. In conjunction with my bold statement that women cannot love a man, unconditional love. That is the a big thing that is bandied around, on the internet. In these times, are we capable of unconditional love? Men can love a woman with zero conditions. We do it all the time. Women, on the other hand, are not capable of loving a man without conditions, with no strings attached. All right? The only man or male that a woman can actually love unconditionally is her progeny, is her own son, is her child, her male child. That is the only male or man eventually who's going to get unconditional love from a woman. That's it. Women only love their kids, their male kids. Females also, obviously, but we're dealing with men and women dynamics in this conversation. Her sons are the only one that she would and could love with zero conditions and zero strings attached. And here's the thing, a woman doesn't even love her own male relatives as she would love her own son. I think this goes without saying, but let me just draw a little analogy or give a little example. A woman, she has, let's say, a brother, an uncle, a male cousin. Let's say her brother, her biological brother, stole 5,000 bucks from her. And let's say he scammed her out of some money somehow. What would be this woman's reaction to what her brother did? There are going to be consequences, right? She's going to either call the cops, she's going to try to go upside his head, she's going to call other relatives and say, hey, could you believe what Jim did? He scammed me. He stole 5,000 bucks from me. It is going to hit the fan, all right? There are conditions to the love that a woman has for her male relatives. That love isn't indefinite. It isn't without conditions. There are conditions. If her brother stole from her, they're likely to fall out. She is likely to cut her off or cut him off. There are going to be repercussions. Doesn't matter. There is no unconditional love from that woman, even to her male relatives, her uncle. If her uncle does something nefarious to one of her kids or even to her, she is liable to cut her uncle off for good. She's liable to call the cops on her own uncle. So men in her life, men in her family do not even get the luxury of having unconditional love. That is only reserved for her son or sons. All right? As far as males go. Now, here it is, you prancing along as her boyfriend, her husband. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? If she doesn't even love her uncle, male cousins, her brother unconditionally, why do you even think, as her husband, as a boyfriend, someone unrelated, that you would even be anywhere on the upper ends of the totem pole of love? You're literally at the bottom. You're below her relatives. Okay? You're definitely like rock bottom in relation to her sons. Okay? You don't measure up. And this is what I want guys to begin to um, internalize, begin to understand. I don't care if this is your wife. I don't care if this is your girlfriend of how many years. She does not love you unconditionally. She cannot. All right? That love is only reserved for her own kids, her sons. Her son can do no wrong. I mean, let's go back to the example that I just gave with her brother stealing $5,000 from her. And, she called the cops on him. She got him locked up. There are conditions to that love, to that relationship. Now, let's say her own son stole $500 from her. This could be a son who's an adolescent or even an adult. Her son stole $5,000 from her. Her son scammed her out of some money. What do you think she's going to do? Is she likely to call the cops on her own son? Of course not. Is she likely to try to go upside her son's head? Probably not. Will she call other relatives and say, hey, you know what John did? He stole $5,000 from me. She's likely not going to get other relatives involved because that is her own son. What he does reflects negatively on her. So she's not liable to go and spill the beans to other relatives. All right? The point I'm trying to say is her love for her own son is without strings. It's unconditional. All right? No matter what he does, he can do no wrong. And we all know this. There are tons of sayings in relation to this. All right? She's not liable to try to get her son arrested or locked up, even though he stole $1 million from her. That love, you as her husband will never get. You are disposable. You are replaceable. Her son is not. All right? Men, y'all need to really internalize this. Get this red pill and digest it. All right? Now, let's touch a bit on some evolved psychology, some evolutionary psychology. This is my favorite subject, and I'm always pleased to delve right into it. Now, back in prehistoric times, on the savannas of Africa or in the coasts of Europe, wherever. Now, a woman, let's play this little hypothetical again. A woman and a man in prehistoric times, caveman days, whatever. The woman has kids for this alpha male. Now, she's obviously gonna stick to this alpha male whom she's had kids for, or a kid. Now, let's say that this alpha or top dog who she's with, let's say he gets into a scuffle with 3 other alphas. And let's say he gets maimed, injured, and now he has a broken leg. Now, what do you think this woman who's with this alpha is going to do? And remember, in those times, prehistorically, things were very volatile. Things were, it was crazy because, there were no cops. There were no law enforcement. There probably were some form of enforcement, but nothing to what we have today. No cops, no law enforcement, no firefighters, no EMS. It was just like dog eat dog world. So women in those times had to be under the leadership of a man. And he generally was the alpha, the top dog, all right? The King Kong of it all. So she was under his leadership. Now, this maimed and injured alpha, who now has a broken leg, he's unable to get around agilely and to be as mobile as he was before. So food is somewhat in short supplies because he cannot get around as he once did a week prior before he got maimed in the little scuffle that he had. Now, in the female's mind, what do you think she's thinking at the moment? She just had a kid. She's struggling to get by. She doesn't know when the next meal is coming because her man it's has been slowed down due to his injuries. What do you think she's gonna do? Is she gonna stick with this alpha out of love, or will she try to monkey branch and get under the leadership of another alpha? Goes without saying. She is gonna try to get under the leadership of another top dog because the one whom she's with is out of commission at the moment. The point is, guys, women historically have never stuck with a man out of love. They stick with men out of resource and out of what the man can provide, and we all know this. All right? They do not stick around based on the love, the so-called love that they have for a man. Okay? If the man gets put out of commission, she is gone. She's looking to monkey branch and move on to something and someone else. All right? Guys, your wife, your girlfriend, is with you today because of what you can do for her. It's not about love. It's never been about love with her. As I said, when I spoke on the evil psychology and in prehistoric times, women never had a track record of sticking with a man out of love, nor duty. Same as it was back then, same as it is today. They are not going to stick around just because they love you or you think they love you. As I said, they are incapable of loving a human being, a male, meaning you, whom she isn't related to. All right? And guys, if you want to test this theory, I love doing this. If you want to test this theory, lose your job tomorrow. If you have a business, just allow it to go kaputs. Allow it to go bankrupt. Sell all your shares. Come home one day and tell your wife, babes, you know what? I lost my job today. Or, I went bankrupt. I sold the business. So things are not going to be as financially salient as they were before. Just come home and give her that news that you are no longer employed. You're going to seek employment, but not for the foreseeable future. Tell me how long you think it'll be before she dumps you. Now, this is a woman who claimed that she loves you. She's told you that she loves you more than a gazillion times over the last 5 years or whenever y'all met. You are on the time clock to be left and dumped. Once you would have dropped that bombshell on your girlfriend or your wife that you are no longer employed, you lost your business, you went bankrupt, you are now on the time clock. She is going to leave you. Her love is with conditions. Under the condition that you will be able to provide indefinitely. That is a condition. She will never tell you this. Of course, she's not going to tell you that. Why would she give up the game? Why would she tell you her game plan? And even with that, why do you think lots of wives are known for keeping secret bank accounts, hidden funds for so-called rainy days? Men aren't known for this. Husbands aren't known for keeping secret bank accounts hidden from their wives. Women are the ones known for doing this. They have an escape plan. They have money saved up on the side for in the event that the day comes that they want to bounce. So they always have that emergency fund. And this is why I've said before, and I'll say it again. Women always have one foot out the door when it comes to a relationship or marriage. They never fully commit. They never fully commit to the relationship. One foot is in, one foot is out. And as I explained to you before, they aren't doing this maliciously. Women aren't doing this out of bad faith. It is just something innately within them. It is within their nature to do this. All right? So it isn't nefarious. This is what the red pill teaches us. This is what the red pill is all about. It is teaching us about women's nature. All right? They're not doing these things because they are wicked creatures. No, that's just the way they have to go about getting through life with their livelihood and well-being on the line, as I said, like it was in prehistoric times, where she had to hitch herself onto the biggest, baddest alpha in order to survive, in order for her progeny, her kids, to eat and also survive. She had to get with the man who was the biggest, baddest dude whom she could attract at that time. Same thing today. This is hypergamy in its rawest form. It's still living out and still being carried out today. All right, so that is why women never fully commit in a relationship to a man, to you, to her husband, to her boyfriend. She will never fully commit, right? One foot is in, one foot is out. Men, on the other hand, we fully commit. If your wife were to come home today, or your girlfriend were to come home today and say, honey, I lost my job, there's no man on the face of the earth who would ever say to her, I'm giving you 3 weeks to get it together, or I'm going to have to leave. No man has ever said that or done that. Because, we don't care about her resources. The reason why men don't care about a woman's money or her finances is because women are never going to give it to us. Women are very cheap. Women are the cheapest individual. And it's crazy how they call men cheap. Women are the epitome of cheap. They don't spend on men. They don't buy men drinks at the bar. They don't pay for dates. They don't pay for anything. All right? So, with that being said, men cannot rely on garnering a woman's resource because women will never share it with us or give it to us. We don't have access to it. So why would we care about it? Hence why we don't. So if a woman were to lose her job, no man on the face of the earth would ever say to her, we are done, or you're on a 4-month time clock. However, that is what women do to men. Even though they won't tell you, they might not tell you this, but her actions will speak louder over time. And over time can mean within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 5 months, or it depends on when you eventually get back on your feet. And at that time, who knows what she's doing, extracurricularly. We don't know what she's doing. All right. And I have to give a massive shout out to Coach CGA, Coach Greg Adams, for bringing this talking point into the Red Pill Manosphere space. And the saying goes, men are in love, women are in business.
Women don't love you guys. I'm just let you know. This is how it works. They receive love, we give love. They don't return it back. They do us favors. And then guess what? They're off back shopping. They off back trying to have it all. They off back at their career. You're just there to just fill a little bit of time in the void. And then she's on to the next dude.
Let me repeat it. Men are in love, women are in business. What that means is very simple. Men get with women and stay with a woman out of love. Women do not. They stay with the man out of what he can do for her, primarily resource-wise. Okay, this is why it's very common that you would have cases where a man would be with a woman, his wife, for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. even though that wife has morphed into something different physically, right? Let's say she was 130 pounds when they met 25 years ago. 25 years later, she's now packed on 150 pounds more. And let's say, for all intents and purposes, let's say that he's not attracted to girls who are above 200 pounds. Do you think that man is gonna divorce his wife or dump his wife because she's no longer the ideal type physically of the girl he was attracted to before? Of course not. Men don't divorce their wives because they got pudgy or they put on some pounds. We don't do that. Even if we met her in supermodel tip top shape and she let herself go, she's now 300 pounds. Men are still not going to leave their wives. Could we say the same for women? Damn sure not. We cannot say the same for women. And interestingly, I'm going to do a video on the same topic, which will be something entitled along the lines of Never Change for a Woman. All right? It's going to be very deep, guys. Never change for a woman. Now, back on the topic at hand. So, your wife, your girlfriend is only with you or primarily with you for what you can do for her. That's it. Has nothing to do with love, whatever this love thing consists of, because me personally, I don't believe in love. All right? Who can explain, who can break down what love is? It's just strong emotions, right? It's the willingness to crash out over a person, right? Whether your kids, your woman, and so forth, right? If that's love, fine, fair enough. Men have that for women. Women don't have that for men. How many women you know who would put their life on the line for their man or husband? Not one. Again, another condition or another reality that men would have to accept, which is that your woman would never crash out for you. She will never go all out for you. You as the husband is expected to do that. And we know this already. You don't even have to tell us this. Men love, women don't. You are with your wife because you love her. She is not with you because she loves you. It is all, you are just a utility. You are just a tool or a series of utilities. Whether you provide financially, whether you give her access to other things that make her life more smooth sailing, you provide myriads of utilities. That is why she's with you. You, on the other hand, is not with your wife because of the utilities, because you get none from her, basically. Now, apart from the stuff that you were going to do anyway, she cooks, she's going to cook anyway. She cleans, she's going to clean anyway. So that's not anything really that she's doing for you. She was going to do that anyway. All right? You weren't going to just fork out money to some random woman. The mere fact that you're doing that for her over these amount of years, it proves your love. As I said, whatever love is, it proves it. Women do not have this for men. I don't know how many other ways I can pinpoint this to you that women do not love you. Okay? You are not indispensable, which means you are disposable. All right? And come on, man. Look at the marriage rates and the divorce rates. Look at who filed more. I mean, I know we beat this point to death. All right? Look at the divorce rates and look at who break up more of their relationships, and that would clearly show you who actually loves who. It shows who are actually committed. Women never fully commit to a relationship, i.e., to a man. Men are the one who do that. And again, we were sold a bad bill of goods. We were told and socialized to believe that women are the ones who love the most and love the hardest. You would only get that in her adolescence because there's no resource or resources to be garnered. So if you're in high school and you have a little high school crush, y'all are 15, 16, sure, she may be genuinely infatuated with you because there's nothing to gain. You have no money as a 17, 16-year-old boy. You have no money. So if she's with you, you can say it's genuine. But the moment she begins to get corrupted by society, social media, TikTok, um, other girls around her, the moment that begins to happen, which is likely to happen around 14, 15, it is a done deal. She is now socialized to look at men for resources, not for love, not to be with a man because of how I feel about him, is what he can do for me, for moi, as the woman. All right. So, guys, you need to quickly understand that because even I myself had to come to that understanding that my girlfriend isn't with me because she loves me. If I were to croak tomorrow, she would be off with another dude. All right. And ask yourself this really. Why is it that women can move on so quickly from a relationship or a marriage? They'll get divorced and already had your replacement lined up. Do you consider that love? They could break up with you today, and tomorrow they're with Chad sexually. Do you call that love? Where was the love? Where's the love? There's no love if she can move on so fast. And that's what they do. They move on quickly. They were never in love with you. They never loved you. All right, so before I wrap up, I know there are going to be naysayers and guys going, Kenny, that is totally BS. I don't want to hear anything that you're talking about because you're so doom and gloom. That is crazy. What you mean a girl can't love? What you mean my wife doesn't love me? As I said, put your wife or your girlfriend on a strict budget. If you are accustomed to giving her a certain amount of money or an allowance per week, bi-weekly, monthly, I want you to pull that back. And women actually call this financial abuse. Anything to make themselves victims, but that's another point. Um, hold back on some of the finances that you were given to her, all the niceties and the good things that you were doing for her customarily. Pull back on those things, and we'll see how unconditional her love is for you. I don't think you want to test that theory, guys. I really don't think you want to test that because you yourself don't believe the BS that you've bought into. You know she's only with you for what you do for her. You know this. So don't even try to fool yourself. Don't try to attack me in the comments. Soak up the red pill. Come to this awareness. We know that you are with Carrie because you actually love Carrie. But just know that Carrie is not with you because she loves you. There are strings attached to her so called love. There are many conditions. She only love you or would only love you as long as you keep doing X. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there. Rewatch the video and digest and soak up this red pill.